It's Thursday. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the first video of Thursday, yes. We're doing a video about the side quest, and this one this week was really easy. So I'm thinking to myself, like, is it actually worth doing a video? Like, I really enjoyed making a video last week about the Mantis boss fight and also some of the paths. So I thought, well, you know, got to think about something, and like the first video is going to be about side quest. Second video later on today is probably going to be about battlegrounds, because I'm going to like go and do some stuff. I don't know what I'm starting to do, like turn into Porky Pig for some reason. But in any case, the last side quest. This is number fourth week, sorry, and episode 4, the New Hope. And New Hope is kind of the new easy, because I would say that this one has probably been the easiest week. My kind of go-to team was the team that you can see on screen right now. To be honest, I don't really need Apocalypse. I didn't really need the likes of, well, to be honest, I could have just done this with Dr. Doom and Archangel, to be brutally honest. That's really the two that could just absolutely slay through this, and I think this is a very kind of like easy week, as we're going to see with some of the footage in a moment. But, you know, there's some things to kind of watch out for. But again, as I said, this would have come back to, this was a pretty easy week compared with last week. Last week had its own kind of like easy cheese moments. Like, you could build up a Horseman on each side effectively and be able to make a Horseman type champion. Like, this week we've got Deadpool on the right, so you can build a Horseman there for some of the fights you go up against. And just on the left side as well, there's nothing really to kind of like be worried about. I would say you'll probably notice a lot of damage through the block. That's probably one thing to notice, which we'll have a look at in a minute with some of the footage. The Sentry fight as well, and when I was kind of looking at it, I was like, well, you've got Now You See Me, which is every 8 seconds the attack is inflicted with a vaulted debuff, giving them a 100% chance to miss for 3 seconds. If the attacker lands a hit, the time is reset. And I was thinking to myself, like, if even I wanted to kind of like just chill out for a moment, I use Human Torch. It's like there was nothing really to kind of like be too worried about. This is why this video isn't like going to be too long, but it's just going to go over some footage in a second. But I would say that my MVPs for this were Dr. Doom to take on Black Bolt, Drax, and Hyperion. Some of these fights right here, you're going to see the footage in a second. Human Torch was able to take on Dr. Doom, and if for whatever reason I wasn't getting any kind of like champion, any kind of throwing a special, any kind of like what's the, like passive kind of defender, or kind of like, you know, very kind of not doing anything defender, then I could use Human Torch to kind of counter the miss from there. Any missed counter champions for any bad situation with any bad AI is advisable. Archangel with the neurotoxins slays a good chunk of stuff. You've got Apocalypse to build up a Horseman there on Deadpool, which you can do 2 times as you take on these different paths. And yeah, just Venompool, like, well, look, he's got a what is it called? A Power Sting debuff with Painful Retreat. So again, I don't think there's anything really to worry about. But in any case, with all that said and done, let's just roll some footage, shall we, and just have a look at some champions that work really well. So starting off with the center, look, the one thing I would stress is damage through the block. I mean, you can see right there, like I'm taking like a lot of damage through the block right there every time I kind of go into it to do like a parry heavy. So like there's like the percentage of like just damage taken is just kind of like, it's something to be wary of, I think, when you kind of go against this. So yeah, do watch out for that. And look, Human Torch is still a great counter for Dr. Doom. Most champions that are, I'd say, science against this, again, fine. There's going to be so many. Like, I thought specifically I'd be going like, okay, well, this is a great counter for this. But to be honest, any champion's really a counter. Class advantage all the way. You could use, Archangel for it. By the way, the reason I've got a relics, and I would say I've now equipped a lot more relics to my champions. Follow-up video on that particular subject soon. The reason I'm adding relics to a lot of champions, even if they don't theoretically fit, is that it just allows for that passive stun. And you'll probably see in side quests that your gauge for champions that have a relic is that they just build up quicker. And this is the annoying thing about relics, is that I kind of feel like that I'm going to stop having I'm still going to have an opinion on relics, but the problem is I do feel forced into kind of having them because of that passive stun. a lot of the times when it comes to, you know, content, having the ability to kind of do that level of stun means that you are able to be quite aggressive when, and again, it just plays into how I play. And I suppose when I get into things like Battlegrounds, it's going to be important to have it to kind of keep up, you know, combos, going from like 5-hit combo into, and especially with this meta of season with Battlegrounds. I'm going to talk about that more in a future video this week, but yeah, enough about like talking about relics. We're actually going to factor in some stuff in a minute, but yeah, like Doctor Doom, if you got a Doctor Doom, he's going to be able to slay. I would say as well, and this is going to be a good kind of like showcase of that one. I think this is going to be a good showcase of that. If Mist pops up against that Sentry, having a Mist based counter can be very helpful. If for whatever reason you are kind of just relaxing for a moment, I mean, there I'm not parry heavying, which I should do in order to keep my temperature up, but I'm in Nova Flame at the moment, so I should really kind of like get that sorted out. You can see now, like I'm gonna start build up there, max, medium temperature, max temperature, building that up, and yeah, I've just got to like make sure that I'm just keeping up aggressive, because as soon as that timer goes down, I get that falter. I don't want to get that falter up because it's going to be just a little bit annoying, and yeah, you just got to be aggressive with this particular one. There was a nice little intercept right there, and that's just the thing, you just got to be aggressive in this particular example, so you don't get that miss, that falter and get missed. But on the right side, if you've got any mutant based champions on Deadpool, you can build up, and that's handy. Like, you know, just going up against Deadpool, building up a Horseman. If you're looking to get like it's not like a cheese thing, it's just a case of like, if there's one particular mutant based champion that you want to make a Horseman, then why not do it first off. The main thing, as I said, going back to this kind of thing about relics, is that the gauge, the spirit gauge, which is your relic kind of like charge up, that is powered up, I think, quicker. I think at the start you get access to it early on, and then it's like the same thing with the new season of Battlegrounds, like it's built up, and you can chain into stuff. That's the reason that I'm kind of like I'm messing around with relics at the moment. It's just a case of kind of like, it helps with the combo building and the build up in general. That's the only reason that I'm kind of like, you know, using it to a degree, or using those relics now. It just helps out with the ramp up. It's not, as I said, it's not something that I kind of go, right, well, I need to do this now, this is the correct relic with this champion. It's just a case of, you know, just helping out matters. And, you know, the Horseman synergy, right, the Horseman crossfight right there, which I've got with Bishop, it's just a nice little build up. In any case, you move on to Venompool. Now, and the thing is, it's easy to rotate around if you get the, I try not to focus on the node itself, the power sting, and try to make sure that I'm just keeping up the fight. You know, that's just the main thing, just going to be as aggressive as possible, suppressing buffs. Loads of champions work against this Symbiote Supreme, you know, any Mystic really, Wiccan, Tigra, you name it. There's probably like so many different counters to this. This isn't a week where specific counters or specific cheese is going to be there. It's just going to be a case of like a free-for-all for champions that are just good, but also good in the confines of, hey, you got a Mystic that deals with buffs? Well, this is probably a good champion for the content. And any champion really works. I mean, I even broke up my Iceman against Drax because I was like, well, I can't be really bothered to always use Doctor Doom. I want to be able to use some other champions. But it's just a very easy week. That's really it. I had some fun kind of interaction, some really quick kind of like build up. It was exciting to bring out Iceman again. I like Iceman, and obviously doing what he's doing. But of course, the old trusty is Doctor Doom for this one. Because the Drax fight has a node of heavy assault, and as we know, you know, Doctor Doom rotating around heavy attacks is kind of nice, and yeah, just getting some meaty damage with heavy attacks is always nice. So I was kind of looking to do that rather than rotating correctly. When you're doing nearly 30k basic heavy attacks and then like 55k heavy attacks, you just kind of don't have a chance to rotate around correctly with Doctor Doom. And at the end of the day, any heavy attack strong champion works well. I'm not saying Doctor Doom is the go-to, and you may even want to get like Mr. Fantastic and pair it up with the synergy to do more damage because you get that armor break. So again, down to you, like what you choose for this one. I just found that Doctor Doom was an absolute god when it comes to dealing with this one. So yeah, a lot of fun, very easy this week, especially compared with last week. And that is really being it for the video. There's not really much more to say, except to say thank you very much for watching the video, and hopefully you have a lovely Thursday. As I said, the next video will probably be like a Battlegrounds orientated video. And if you want some information about some of the champions I use and who I use them against, I put it in the description down below. But as I said, a very easy week. especially if you got the, you know, any champions really work. But in any case, thank you very much for watching this video. Check out some other content which will be located on screen right now. Have a lovely Thursday, whatever you're doing, and I should be back live streaming now that I've completed my show reel for my portfolio. I can now get back to doing some YouTubing. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.